But without this microphone, nobody's
don't
on a
look legit.
podcast these days, right?
Yeah.
Podcast bros. Come on, let's do this. Bandra or LA?
I hate LA. I cannot stand LA. 11 a.m. until 2. Harassment.
Correct.
And that's unfortunately a part of my life as well. My dad thought he was raising Serena and Venus. And I was like, "Main to, please, sir.
Sorry,
Mere se
daddy.
nahi hoga. La, la,
Sorry,
la,
daddy.
I will go sing." We hung out that night. We went on a walk. And she gave me this really beautiful sermon on being in your 30s. And why it's the most powerful time for a woman. Because in your 20s, you're discovering yourself. And in the 30s, you're laying the foundation for your life. The dream moment of getting a call from Dharma, as an NRI, that's our whole thing. It's
our entire personality is that, guys.
We have one dimension, guys. We love Shahrukh. That's it. Not that every day Riya Kapoor is here's anotother song.
Of
here's
course.
Another project. Nobody's going to do that for you.
Once you become successful, there's more stress. Do you agree with this?
Much more stress. I'm addicted to work. My therapist has a lot of issues with it. Baahon mein raho tum, duniya ki parwah kahan. Ragon mein meri tum, janmon se ho na yahan. Dil mein jo छिपा है, keh bhi do. चल दूं तुम जहाँ चलो, धड़कनों में तुम ही रहो.
All right. Time for another casual conversation. Are we rolling? Okay, we are rolling. This is great, guys. As you know, Casual Conversations is a podcast segment on the show where we get one of your favorite artists to come by and hang out. And it's so nice. Lisa, you came to hang out. This is awesome.
It's crazy because I'm your favorite artist.
Absolutely. I mean, I'll be honest with you, Tarifa is a song that has still not left me. And I'm sorry to say that every interview for you is plagued with that question. So I hope you're okay with that.
What was it like?
No, not what was it like. But the truth is that, oh my God.
It's a magic song.
It is a magic song. And I feel like you have one of the most magical stories.
Yeah.
And you have truly the story that's the equivalent of, girls or boys going to diners in LA, waiting around trying to be noticed. And then someone's like, you're going to be a movie star. That's what happened to Lisa Mishra many, many years ago. Except she didn't have to go to a diner. She had the internet, guys. Okay.
Yeah.
And then she dropped a version of Tarifa, which was her own. And then, of course, the rest is history. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a physical form of manifestation. In action.
But here's my deal. That's the story only for the beginning.
Yeah.
What comes after is the more interesting and the more stressful bit. Because I think once you become successful, there's more stress. Do you agree with this?
Much more stress. I'm addicted to work. My therapist has a lot of issues with it. She's like, you are incapable of being in real relationships because your entire relationship is with your job.
Yeah.
Because I think what happens is, you're only given a moment. It's not that every day Riya Kapoor is here's another song. Here's another project. Nobody's going to do that for you. You got a stroke of luck. After lots of years of hard work, it paid off. But then you have to keep making it pay off for eternity because now it's your job. Yeah. It wasn't this thing that you did for fun and then you can just go back to your normal life. I could have, and then I would be a data analyst. I'll still be, sitting at my desk and doing that job. But if I chose to be here, this is now my job.
And you have to do this every day.
Every single day. So that part nobody tells you is really tough, especially because this is the most fickle industry on earth. And it's also the most competitive industry. And in one of the most competitive cities in the world, because there's simply so many people.
Of course.
You can throw a stone and you'll find an incredible singer.
Absolutely.
And you just have to make your time worth it. And be really, really cognizant of the fact that it could go tomorrow.
For people who just tuned in, the story goes that, she put up a version of a song and then Sonam Kapoor loved it, Riya Kapoor saw it, and then she was, of course, offered more songs to sing in case you've been living under a rock. So we'll put that clear. Because they're like, kya ho gaya? How I missed this? One of my questions to you was going to be about, pivoting. And I think that you are one of those few, singers who has, I would say, successfully managed to cross over to being an actor, because I feel like most singers and some of the greatest singers of our country, I'd like to take Sonu Nigam, for example. Okay, terrible movie, okay, that he was part of, but great singer.
I've not seen it.
And because we're fans, we've seen everything they've ever been in.
Yeah.
Talk about that to me, because that pivot was it forced, or was it something that, again, was it chance? Was it luck?
Nothing in my life has been luck. Oh my God. It's always like slaving away at a dream that takes its sweet, sweet time. It's like molasses for me. Nothing moves fast. It's always like
drip.
You're just like watching paint dry, honestly. And then one day you get a call and you're like, okay, the paint is finally dry.
Amazing.
It's I came here in June of 2018. I moved to Mumbai.
Yeah.
And I started auditioning for acting work in December, Jan of that same year. So within 5 months, I was, actively in auditions, and because I wanted to push myself to see, now I'm in this city and I've left everything I know. I've left a very secure job in data. I had a great career ahead of me. And if I'm making a move, I need to have other things going. Because what if I come here and I make this one song and no composer wants to work with me again? Or they don't think I have the chops when they have incredible other options. So I need to do other things. I need to expand myself. And there's a reason why it took me 4 years to get my first gig, because I wasn't good. I was going to go through the process of learning what acting is and what it is to have camera presence. The biggest challenge was changing this accent to be believable on screen as somebody who could, perceivably be from Mumbai or Delhi. How do I sound Indian while I'm speaking Hindi and while I'm speaking English? I didn't speak Hindi when I moved here.
Yeah. We remember.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So now then I had to be fluent in Hindi. Then I had to change my accent completely so that conceivably I'm from this place. That took 4 years.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So it's all, and I think it's just because I've had it, the hard way for so long in terms of my music, taking 11 years before Ria happened to me. That's made me attuned to the fact that things don't land on your lap.
Yeah.
You have to work for it, and you have to do these outreach things. You have to, beg for a shot.
100%.
And then you won't get it, by the way. It's not that you land your first acting gig and you're just given this thing. You have to wait, and, there's a timing for all of this.
Yeah, yeah. But I think it was a great wait, because it ended with Call Me Bae.
And with Veer, which was such a dream to be opposite him most of the time on screen.
Yeah. I think the track that the two of you had was also very powerful.
Yeah, it was a different undertone.
Yeah.
It was much more
from
serious.
The entire show.
Yeah.
And I really liked the part that you played in Call Me Bae,
Thank
because
you.
I just felt that there was something so real about representing working women on screen, guys. Thank you so much.
Now 2 roles I've done like
this.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's important. I mean, earlier we didn't have professions as women in like cinema.
We were just there.
We were there.
In our nice saris in Switzerland.
Very nice bows and saris in Switzerland, of course. But when you landed that gig, okay, was that was the first ever time someone said yes to you?
Yes,
for an
first
acting
time
gig?
I've ever gotten a yes. I've gotten so close so many times.
Oh my God.
Before that. And the reality of this industry, of any industry in the world in entertainment, is that numbers matter, visibility, popularity matters. So I've lost gigs to people who have stronger socials. But I actually don't necessarily think that's the only reason. I think sometimes you're not the right fit for that thing.
100%.
So I'm okay with it. It's like, that wasn't meant for me. Sometimes it's a numbers thing. Sometimes it's like, you might be a good actor, but this is not that role. They have sometimes just an image in mind.
Of course.
And some writers write with, I need this exact face.
Yeah.
So all of these things can happen. But I mean, the dream moment of getting a call from Dharma, as an NRI, that's like our whole thing. It's
our entire personality is that, guys.
We have one dimension, guys. We love Shahrukh. That's it. And we grew up on YRF and Dharma. So like my first acting gig being with Dharma is surreal. And walking onto a Dharma set and drinking from a Dharmatic mug and like sitting opposite a Dharma director in his Dharma cabin. It just was wild. Because when you get onto that floor of the building and you see the huge Dharma.
Yes, written there.
Yeah. They have a very fun display on that floor. you get goosebumps the first time you're there.
Happened to me. Yeah.
It happens to anyone. Everybody. And it has nothing to do with you wanting to be an actor. It's just an emotion.
Of course.
You know? And then you see these, and it's the same thing when you enter YRF and you see all the posters of all the characters over time. You see Madhuri and you see Salman Khan and you see Shah Rukh, and you're just like, I'm here.
They walk these corridors, and they have rooms outside their names, and I mean the names outside their rooms, and it's just so special.
Our Royals launch was at YRF.
I remember.
And
I was there.
I walked that staircase, and I was like, this can't be real. Like, this is not my life.
That is amazing.
Yeah. Every day I'm just shocked and, incredibly grateful that I get to do this thing.
Awesome. Royals 2 has been announced. Thank you. Dino kind of spilled the beans on our show last week.
Yeah, I did.
And then I was like, yes, he said it now. He's like, but there's a cliffhanger. And I was like, I know there's a cliffhanger.
I love it. And then he was just like, I'm available for work. He's like, Salad's coming back season 2. I love him. He's the greatest self-pitcher ever.
I love him because he's just so easy and so lovely.
So warm.
What was that set like for you, and what was that experience like? Because I just feel like the camaraderie on the set, even when we did the interview, we missed you at that interview, by the way, which is why we're doing this one-on-one, by the way, because I was just like, what the hell?
But I was so bummed. That day. I had something else that night.
Yeah. So what was that?
That's the part of being a musician. I had music that night.
She has 2 jobs, guys. She was working 2 jobs on that day. So what was that set like? And have you made any friends for life? Or can you?
Absolutely.
Or do you? Like, what have you noticed about the industry, really? Let's get that view.
Sure. I think there are 2 ways of working, and neither of them is better or worse than the other. I think there are true professionals who are there to clock in, do the job, and leave. And they're probably the easiest people to work with on set because they really, truly believe in not wasting anyone's time. And I would say that is Ananya Pandey. She comes on set, she knows her job, she knows her lines, and it's like a clock in, clock out for her. And then mentally, she can be in her real world afterwards. Then you have situations which are closed sets, right? We had the luxury of clocking out because we were working in Bombay for Call Me Bay. Now 50 days in Rajasthan for Royals. You're going to make friends. You have to. Otherwise, it'll be too isolating. Yeah. And I was very lucky to have somebody as senior and respected as Bhumi waste her time, frankly, initially getting to know me so well.
So sweet.
And I think it made for such a natural friendship on screen. I think one of the most, powerful love stories in that series is our friendship. I firmly believe that's the real love story.
So true.
We have such a natural camaraderie on screen because she made sure we had it off screen.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
She really took all the steps needed because she knew that here's this kid, who's a newcomer, and now we've put her on this set with me, Ishan, Zeenat Aman, Sakshi Tanwar, Dino Moria, all these people that she must have grown up seeing and doesn't know how to be around.
Of course.
So she sensed, I think, my anxiety and my nervousness. Because I met her on set, on scene. I had never met her before.
Correct.
And I was thrown into this, lion's den. And I was like, oh, okay.
Of course.
And she just took my hands and she was like, let's calmly just, run through our lines. First take, 2 takes, it didn't come out right. And she was like, let's just hop off. Let's discuss how you and I would naturally do this as friends. And then we got through this really, really great scene, which is the one where I'm like, dono ke saath, ek saath. That thing. And
at the bar.
And then after that day, we hung out that night. We went on a walk and she gave me this really beautiful sermon on being in your 30s and why it's the most powerful time for a woman, because in your 20s you're discovering yourself, and in the 30s you're laying the foundation for your life, and you just have more power, more agency, more money, more respect. And she's like, this is the beginning of the rest of your life. Amazing. So don't be afraid of the 30s, and really lean into all of these powerful moments and carve your path now, because you get your 20s to kind of fool around and do all the things and make all the mistakes, but now it's you have the agency and you're in the room, so claim your 30s.
Amazing.
Yeah. And that was day 1 of meeting her.
Wow.
And what a foundation. I know. And what a foundation to set, and completely unsurprising of such a powerful woman to have taken that time and been like, let me guide you a little bit.
That's lovely.
And the next day I came on set, I was much more at ease.
Yeah, women love Lisa Mishra, by the way. Like whether it might be a Sonam or a Riya or a Bhumi. Have you ever been in a scene with an actor where you saw them act? And because, I mean, it would happen to me that I see somebody, I shared screen space with Ranveer Singh once on Gully Boy, and I was dumbfounded.
Oh, I know that moment.
Yeah. I was dumbfounded because I just saw him in action. And then, of course, I lost my cue. And, and then I had to be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'll do this again. But it's amazing to see people who take that craft to a different level. Have you been around somebody like that? Do you have a memory of that?
I think actually, Bhumi and I have had tons of those throughout Royals, but she gets to share like lighter moments with me. So a lot of the heavier stuff is in scenes that I'm not a part of.
Yeah.
So fair. I would actually say Ananya and I have a more emotional scene where I like bail her out when she gets caught shoplifting.
Yeah.
And she has this incredible ability, like I said, to switch on and off. And I mean, I'm so glad she's finally getting credit for that. And being recognized as like she is a good actor.
Yeah.
And you can only really get to see that when you're in person with her, because she'll be having a casual conversation with you, and then she goes and like, you know, she puts on the gliss and her eyes well up, and you feel like crying because you're like, oh wow, she's like very good at emoting pain and in a very innocent and like young way. So I felt like very moved to be like, okay, like naturally it brought out my actor, because I was like, in this scene, I have to be like the protective older sister, and it just came out of me.
Yeah,
because she brought that out.
Of course, of course.
So yeah, I think that scene where I have to bail her out is definitely the one, and I'm really glad like she's showing off her chops now.
You know, it's so hard for people to cross over. Okay. And I'll tell you the one thing about the industry that I've learned is that if somebody's a singer, you stay a singer. If somebody's an actor, you stay an actor. Why are you becoming a singer? And because of that, I feel that the scrutiny on your performance is slightly higher.
Yeah.
And it's very easy to say, oh, she's a singer-songwriter, and oh, she's also acting.
Sometimes acts. Yeah,
she sometimes
yeah.
acts. Do you think that it's hard for you in the perception of this? How does it work? Like,
Definitely.
Have you ever heard that from people saying that, oh, you know, she's a singer? Yeah.
I've heard many people ask me why. Like, why are you doing this? Or like, what's the reason? Like, you're in this space already, and like in my own friend circle, and I've been in like a genuine concerned way. I would just be like, don't do this. So many people who go down this path of influencer turned actor, musician turned actor, dancer turned actor. Why now? And I was like, okay, well, if I have an opportunity to do this and play characters that are not versions of me you've seen, then I am an actor. Like, I'm not going on screen and playing a musician until the time comes that I get an incredible musical.
Of course,
right?
yeah.
I would love to do like a Star is Born, right? That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
So speaking,
are you guys listening? Like, you know, guys, please, like industry people, make movies like this.
Yeah.
We'd love to see real singers like Lady Gaga, man. Like, oh my God.
Ariana and Wicked, Haley Steinfeld just now in Sinners. Absolutely. It's everywhere in the world.
And it's a tried and tested format.
Mook.
Yeah.
Lisa in Blackpink. She was in White Lotus and she killed it.
She was so good. Yeah. I just feel like give them the singer parts, but write the singer roles. And I think singer roles get written all the time because every movie is a musical. Yeah. It's the irony of it, right?
I was going to say that the two true people who've done this well are recently, obviously Lady Gaga and Ariana Grande, who are literally singing. And I mean, if you have the chops, fantastic. I would love to do a musical, like a true, real musical, and voice it and be the face of that as well. And I'm not saying you need to put me as like the face of this musical, but I want to be in a musical.
Absolutely. But why not face of the musical? Because now, hello, she's doing a lot of mehnat and acting like nicely and all. So just bloody do this, guys.
Yeah. But that was the only thing, I got a lot of questions about like, why this? Like, why everyone wants to be an actor? And I was like, one, though, obviously there's this kida. Once you reach Mumbai, you get this energy. You're like, I want to do things. You know? But then I was like, no, Lisa, like, you've done theater before. You've done musical theater before. You've grown up seeing yourself entertain for the rest of your life. And this is a version of entertainment, but it's also a craft, right? So now don't be an influencer who came and, just did this little 2-bit acting and then was like, okay, cool, I got my 5 seconds of fame. If I want to last, then I have to put a lot of work into it.
Correct.
do your workshops, do theater in the meantime, you know, refine your craft just as I would as a musician. If I just phoned it in and assumed I was a good musician and did a haphazard job on stage, obviously I would not be in a certain place right now. So the same thing. I'm just like, you know what? To anyone who's a naysayer, I will let the work speak for itself because I will make sure I put effort into everything I do.
And I'm going to do more.
And I'm going to do more.
Woo, woo, woo.
And then I'm going to do a musical.
Yes, this is the energy. Yes. I love it.
We will speak it into existence.
I love it. I love this casual conversations. Is not very casual, as you can see, because we're talking work only. I want to ask you, what do you do?
What do you Remember what my therapist said?
Yeah, she's crazy, guys. Isko sirf kaam hi karna hai. You know, you've just dropped a track, which is so soulful. You know, a video is going to come out very soon. Talk to us about making the video. Who did you make it with?
I made it with Anuj Samtani, who was our cinematographer, DOP for Call Me Bae. And I just knew when I had this song in my hands that I'm going to call Anuj and beg him to do me a favor because I can't afford him. Let's be real. And he was just so good about it. He's like, okay, for you, for this song.
Oh, how sweet.
Yeah. How sweet, and I was like, because his ability to work with light and lighting is so amazing. It's so good, yeah. So I was like, I want Anuj, and let's just see if he says yes. And we got a yes. And
we're going to watch the song, guys, very soon.
I know, it's so good. It's so good. And it's a very delicate love story. And I think, you know, it is a queer song. The lyrics are written by a girl to a girl. And and we've left the video fairly ambiguous. You can imagine it as like, maybe I'm singing to a version of myself, but there are two girls in this visual as well. And we hope that, like, you know, oh wow, yeah, we're leading into Pride Month. Yeah. And you know, we hope if someone in the community sees this song and finds their story in it and finds this helplessness and love towards their partner, I would love that. And even if you're not queer, it's just such a potent, beautiful love song. So I really,
so you can't just talk about it, man. You gotta sing some for us.
Of course, please. So we'll sing a little bit. बाहों में रहो तुम, दुनिया की परवाह कहाँ, रगों में मेरी तुम, जन्मों से हो ना यहाँ, दिल में जो छिपा है कह भी दो, चल दो तुम जहाँ चलो, धड़कनों में तुम ही रहो, तेरी हूँ, हर एक हाल में पास तेरे रहूं, तेरी हूँ, हर एक सांस में साथ तेरे रहूं, हाँ.
Did you manage to sing the hardest part of the song? She did. She did, ladies and ladies.
I still have a job tomorrow in the music industry.
This is amazing. This is amazing. No, I love it. One of my favorite tracks that she's collaborated on has been Rider. And it's like one of my favorite songs all the time. It's on my playlist. I mean, it's just something that I absolutely love. And I think that your voice has that amazing quality, which is... I've only heard it in this sort of like international context because R&B is such an international style, you know. But I'm very curious to see how that translates into your Indian music. And I think you do a damn good job of it, yeah. No, I heard a little bit of that. That's
I actually caught it when I was singing.
Yeah.
And that's very
American. She got it. Where can we listen to this song, and how can we spread it?
Yes, please support this song because this is my first ever fully independent, self-funded piece of work in my life. So the journey of 18 years of making music publicly. I started in 2007 making YouTube videos till now, 2025. It took so long for me to have the self-belief that, you know what, I think I've made this like seminal work in my career. I want to own it. And I want to back it. And I'm going to bleed money making this. So, because that's what it is to be an independent musician. You just have to do it.
Of course.
You know, and if you have this belief that this is that song, you need all the support you can get. So I need you guys to stream this. It's going to be out everywhere on June 5th with the visual. Go watch the full video that Anuj Samtani has brilliantly directed and made us all look amazing. Isha Sawant is dancing in it. And our wonderful team, our girl gang, my production gang, pulled this off on like shoestring budgets. And it's just going to be a beautiful, beautiful song On June 5th, it releases. It's meant for monsoon. Share it with someone you love. Enjoy the song.
It's absolutely beautiful. So please, please, please do that. And I think it means a lot. I know what it takes for female artists, and I'm so sorry to say female artists all the time.
But it's so true.
It's so true.
To back yourself, to
back yourself, to get it.
To get that audience. I think it's so much harder.
You'll get the audience, but first you have to get a yes from yourself. And I think most of us self-censor for so long. Even being more intelligent, the most intelligent person in the room is you, but the least confident person in the room is also you. And it's just one of those journeys. So I'm very excited that you're doing this because I know what it means. Like saying yes to yourself is the biggest yes you can ever say. Like it's completely changed. Like I said yes to the dress and all is gone, guys. We're saying yes to
the song.
Yes to the song. Like yes to the song. It is so amazing. I hope you continue to make more music and saying yes to your own voice and yes to your own music, because I feel like there have been other people who've laid bets on you, and this is just one of those.
Off, so might as well do it to me.
Might as well do it to yourself. But it was so nice for you to come down, and we've never done this actually before.
You know what's it's very strange because I know you on a personal level, but like it's funny to do this on camera.
We've never done this, so thank you for your time. I hope it was fun for you.
Yes, it was so fun. Have me back anytime.
Anytime.
Hi, this is Lisa Mishra, and I'm with Rotox on Just to Film Me.